Good evening, everyone. Tonight's scene takes place at Desperate Dan's Cafe, where Isabell has called, or messaged, rather, Travis to meet her there, as she has a couple of things she'd like to talk to him about. And so, yeah, she's sitting there waiting for him. It's still fairly early. It's probably around 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. He saunters in, he's very relaxed. He's wearing his button up shirt and some slacks, nice shoes, like normal. He saunters in, spots her at the booth she's at, kind of just takes his time walking over, not really. He's not appearing to go straight for her. He's taking his time and passing around, you know, watching the people that are eating, probably like just passing by, just a little smile and polite hello as he meanders his way around the restaurant to where Isabell is.
And it's quite busy this evening, probably with the weather getting colder. People are starting to come in later to get in from the cold and things like that. So, but she's in her usual place in the as far back in a corner as she can get. But it's busy tonight, so you're gonna have to huddle up. She smiles and stands up to greet him. Um, Good evening, Travis. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, my dear. As he'll probably kiss her hand, do another little bow. This is his usual greeting.
She smiles and gives a little curtsy back.
And then he'll wait for her to sit at the booth.
She'll sit down right next to him in the booth instead of across. Since it's busy, she doesn't want to have to talk any louder than she has to. So,
Okay.
so she'll plop herself down right next to him and turn to him and smile. And so I messaged you, called you here tonight, as there's a couple of things I need to warn you about, so to speak, I guess.
Oh, and what might these be?
Well, so I had Lily, that Malkavian, and she says that in a very low voice, that is really wanting to be friendly with me and really all of us in the family. I had her over at my gym on Saturday, and she wanted me to go over some ballet stuff with her. So I did, and she's not as rusty as she thinks she is. She was actually really good. And I showed her, what I'm good at, and did a routine on the balance beam. But she seemed, I don't know, more inquisitive than usual about things. And I thought that was a little weird. But she asked me about who else enjoys dancing, and I told her that you did, and also Annabelle. And then I find out, last night, couple nights ago, I found out that she's really not to be trusted.
What did she
I
do?
mean, apparently she's affiliated with the Irish mob, something like that.
I see.
And they it's a possibility that She's told them more than she should.
One of his eye raises ever so slightly, and the side of the corner of his mouth, his lip lifts slowly. It's quite a very tiny bit. Probably the side that's facing her, so only she can see it. But it's very obvious, seen from the small movements. It's a look of disdain.
Hmm. Now, I wasn't going to trust her to begin with because she's an outsider, but this really gives me cause for concern, especially since she was asking me about where uh, we all like to hang out and try to arrange a night for all of us to go out and be in one place. That just makes me really uneasy.
Sounds like she's organizing a trap, honestly.
Something. I mean, I don't want to jump to any drastic conclusions like that, but I can't help but wonder, you know? And anyway, just be careful. I wouldn't give her the time of day if I were you. You can even lie and say, if she comes looking for you saying I sent you, you can even, say, well, I don't know anything about that or whatever,
We could do that. Or we could try and play her game.
Maybe. We could.
We could feed her false information. He says this very quietly, almost speaking out of the side of his mouth as he's sitting there, probably fake sipping at a glass of water.
Her eyes kind of light up at that. Oh,
Perhaps.
yeah, perhaps.
See who reacts on the information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
Perhaps young Edwin likes to make his hangout. He likes to spend his evening.
no, I do not, but I might be able to find out.
That could be good. A useful pawn, scapegoat, fall guy, whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then there's, let's see. She was really the main one, but she's trying to. It's like she's having trouble remembering, um, or she's maybe trying to choose carefully what she says next. You can't quite tell. So I guess I really don't care if this gets out as a rumor anyway, but I want some more information before I go to higher ups about this one. But it seems that Miss Lily is doing some kind of weird stuff with the outsider Tremere, that, and she says, almost whispers that. Josephus, I don't know if you've met him.
No, I don't think I've had the pleasure.
Well, I've only met him a couple of times, and I don't really like him. He seems weird, and he always carries a cross. But from what I understand, that cross has nothing to do with Christianity.
His eyes narrow ever so slightly.
But I was told that Lily went off with him alone when she wasn't supposed to and was doing some kind of weird stuff. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that his people are kind of strict about who they do things like that with.
Yes, of course.
So even if it's not their kind of stuff, if he's doing anything like that with someone outside, I'm not sure that they'll like that too much.
Makes sense. This would be good information to have. Keep it
So
in
I want to
mind.
get some more information before I notify anybody of this behavior, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all, and I think that um, both of them could be detrimental to all of us.
Yes, yes. That does seem a reasonable assumption, especially given young Lily's performance the other night.
Hmm. Oh, I know. um, that right there is the reason why her family gets bad rap.
Hmm, I see. I can understand why.
But I felt that you should know, especially since I kind of sent her to find you, that I needed to warn you because I found this stuff out after the fact. Had I known before, I would have never said anything.
It's very slowly as he takes a sip from the water. You notice, like, as he sets the cup down, the level of water in the cup is the exact same. Yes, much appreciated.
Yeah, Isabel herself is hanging on to a coffee cup that is if it has a lid on it, so you can't tell if she's actually drank anything out of it, but she's just kind of holding on to it, and every once in a while we'll bring it up to her mouth or her face to kind of sniff it, but she doesn't drink anything or anything off of it that you can tell.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so just keep your eyes and ears open, and I'm sure you know what to do. Don't say
Of
anything.
course.
Don't you know? But maybe creating a diversion of sorts would be fun.
I will definitely keep it in mind. This is a bar we're at, correct?
We're at a cafe. We're at Desperate Dan's Cafe. It's a 24-hour
Okay.
restaurant slash coffee shop.
Okay.
So
So he nods. I will definitely keep that in mind. As he takes another fake sip of his water, breathes in, takes a deep breath. Very interesting. Very interesting.
so other than that, though, not a whole lot's been going on. I guess I've been staying busy with work and
That is good. It's busy as always. Preferable to dead, I suppose.
I'm sure you've
Unless
heard
he kind of
that.
gives her a kind of crooked half smile at that.
I'm sure you've heard that Annabelle's sister, Lenora, is our new leader.
I did. I did. I presume, given the suddenness with which the appointment happened, that you had something to do with it, as they certainly weren't doing anything about it.
Well, as she kind of looks around before she says this, and she kind of, continues speaking in her low, almost whispered voice. The prince held a impromptu court for people to bring him information or anything that they had to say, introductions, whatever. So when I got there, I didn't see anybody else there. So I went and told him, and he seemed surprised yet pleased that I understood the gravity of the situation and accepted my announcement. And then I had to leave right afterwards. So, and he told me to tell her to speak with him as soon as she had a chance. It was kind of condescending when he said it, but um, and so a few nights later, I went and spoke with Lenore, and apparently, after I left, she came there and was made officially was made our leader, and also given another title, um, Chamberlain, I think it is.
How very interesting.
Yes.
Have we heard anything from her opposition?
No, not a word. Not that I've heard. So she wasn't angry with me for what I did because it worked out okay, but she told me, she had it under control and I didn't need to intervene. But of course, I didn't know that. Um, but even though she said that, I still think that she was appreciative that I did what I did, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because we had a very pleasant conversation, and um, she said if she needed anything, then she'd let me know. And so uh, I think she didn't quite know how to take it when I addressed her as my primogen. That was cute.
He kind of smiles and nods. I think we need to be on the watch. If you took the initiative, so to say, our opposition is no doubt not going to be happy with it.
Oh, probably not, but she hasn't shown up to defend herself, so I'm really not that worried about it. She's just gonna probably
Perhaps.
sit around and throw her little parties and preach the gospel like she always does. And she says that with a very bitterness, a lot of bitterness in her voice. It's a lot of disdain when she speaks about that.
She could get out of character. Apologies for the yawn. I was yawning and Ray
That's
didn't
fine.
respond. He kind of tilts his head to the side for a moment. Do you know? I'll have to see about getting invited to one of these parties. Perhaps a little inside information. Get close to her, see how she feels about the whole situation.
If you want to endure that, you go right ahead. Just act like that you're a good Christian boy, and you'll be just fine.
Oh, well, I said get information. I didn't say she'd like it. No, did I? As he gives a bright smile.
No, but she might be a little bit more forthcoming if she believes you're on her side.
Oh, my dear, I am nothing if not the gentleman.
Of course you are. I know you are. You're very polite, and she'll appreciate that.
He has a glint in his eyes. He says, that means that.
Anyway, her name is Catherine Marlborough, and she has he just absolutely loves, and he's always like her shadow, and his name is Reb. Maybe if they hang out at some of the more higher end clubs and things. If you can get maybe in with him first, then that you might have bit more of a chance of getting invited. That's kind of what happened to me as I was friendly with him. It helped who my sire was as well. At that point, her disdain for me wasn't out. So, and she kind of that's there's mixed emotions in that chuckle that she gives with that.
He nods. I have to see what I can do. You can see as he's sitting there, you can almost see the gears churning in his head as he considers this information.
Isabell smiles.
You said she loves her ghoul very much, correct?
It appears so. He's always with her. She even brings him. She even brings him to. She even brings him to Elysium, and he, is out amongst us as if he's one of us, and they're not our equals.
He has he has this very nasty glint in his eyes. As he says, perhaps we should provide. Oh, we might have to run this by Lenora first, but maybe our clan needs to make some reparations for taking up so much of our dear prince's time. As he says in his quiet voice.
She gets kind of a wicked
favored ghoul.
She gets kind of a wicked smile on your face when on her face when you say that.
Favored ghoul from the one who caused the proceedings to be delayed would be a perfect tribute to our prince, would it not?
Perhaps it would. But, like you said, we shouldn't make any decision like that without...
No.
No. But I like the idea, I do.
I'll have to arrange a meeting with my side. If you can pass it on to Lenora in case I don't get the chance in time, I'd be much obliged.
Of course I will.
After all, she's new in her position, and I'm sure she's looking for a way to solidify her control over the family. Prove her dominance, so to speak. Unless he gives a big grin. He checks his watch after a moment. Unfortunately, I do have some prior appointments, and I must be going soon. I'm so very terribly sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right, I understand. But we must get together again and chat about matters that aren't quite as serious. I'd like to get to know you a little better.
Of course. Knowing the family's always a good idea.
I agree. But yes, we'll let you be on your way, and we'll ponder over your ideas. I like them.
Why, thank you. He says with a smile as he stands up.
And
he gets on the booth and gives her another bow. And probably kisses her hand again.
She stands up and she smiles, but she leans it. She moves forward and she actually gives him a hug.
He seems a bit surprised by this, but after a moment he returns the hug, and he makes his way very slowly out of the bar. Just very, and not like he's taking his time, more like he's just looking casual. Like it's just very casual, saying hello, being friendly, greeting, tipping the waitresses, waitress or the hostess or whoever. And after probably about 5 minutes or so, he's out of the building.
Isabell just remains there for a little while, watching Travis as he walks out. thinking about the things that they've talked about, and she'll probably sit there for a while before heading out herself. And that's where this scene will end.